a lot more. And nowhere is the snow prettier than in Denver, Colorado. Several inches falling in the Rockies, creating a picture postcard landscape. As we've shown you, parts of our state and many neighboring states socked in under the snow. And if you have to do some traveling, we suggest you call the road condition hotline before heading out. Just dial 246-5600, then punch in category 1333. You'll hear updated information about Iowa's roadways as well as surrounding states.
Signs of the holiday could be seen around the metro area today. Hundreds of Des Moines residents enjoyed a free Thanksgiving dinner at the Door of Faith Mission. There were 30 turkeys, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and all the fixins. Volunteers have been working for days to put this feast on. Thanks to the Lifeline ambulance, this man got to spend Thanksgiving with his family. Home for the Holidays provides residents who are normally hospitalized or in nursing homes a free ride so they can be with their loved ones. And an age-old tradition calling folks to Thanksgiving worship this morning. Clad in pilgrim attire, members of the Plymouth Congregational Church celebrated the holiday in classic style. Governor Branstad was even on hand to give the Thanksgiving Day proclamation.
This has been a very difficult Thanksgiving for the West Des Moines parents of 19-year-old Gant Miller. The University of Iowa freshman has been missing since the morning of November 14th when his grandfather gave him a ride to his dormitory. Richard and Lynn Miller of West Des Moines are asking for any help that you might be able to provide in finding their son. You're urged to call the University of Iowa Department of Public Safety at 319-335-5022. He fought for his life for the last week and a half, but today Dennis Terwilliger lost that battle. Terwilliger was one of 3 victims in that house explosion in Gilmore City, November 15th. Also injured was Beth Larson, who tonight is hospitalized in good condition, but her 12-year-old son, Lincoln Poldevart, is in critical condition.
An explosion aboard a Continental Airlines jet, just one of the stories which tops our look at news from around the world tonight. The jet was forced to make an emergency landing at Austin's Miller Airport last night after a small explosion on board. A fuel leak had caused one of the DC-9's engines to catch fire. It was put out quickly, but not before filling the plane with smoke. Fortunately, no one was injured. U.S. peacekeepers in Somalia were remembered on Thanksgiving. About 16,000 personnel received a turkey or ham dinner today. The meals are home-cooked in Mogadishu. The supplies came from the U.S. and from Germany. And here in this country, not everything went as planned at the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade in New York City. The balloon of Sonic the Hedgehog, a character from a video game, ran into a street light, knocking down some pedestrians. 3 people were injured, and 1 is hospitalized tonight.
Thanksgiving always signals the beginning of the Christmas season here in Des Moines. Holiday magic already in the air. We'll have a look at an annual tradition a little later in the newscast.
And up next, a look at infomercial products. Are they gems or are they junk? Therese Thompson puts the products to the test.
Newscenter 13, voted best newscast in Iowa by the Associated Press.
They're slick, they're entertaining, and sometimes outrageous.
It's the infomercial, and they're peddling everything from psychic readings to instant hair. Take a look at these numbers. Nordic Track has made $225 million in the past 3 years. Soloflex, $150 million, and only 2% of the people who see infomercials respond. The question, are you buying junk? Therese Thompson puts as seen on TV to the test.
Don't take my Flowbee.
Respect. You want to get directing. You'll get results.
Your Flowbee can pay for itself in just a few haircuts.
The ads claim Flowbee will save you big bucks.
What a difference!
The infomercial series Amazing Discoveries will tell you target training is guaranteed. But are we seeing miracle products or TV magic?
You'll do ham bone, lamb bone, steak bone. You never dull that knife.
Our tests begin with the Miracle Blade 2. The infomercial claims it's the knife for life.
Never have to sharpen a knife again.
To test the Miracle Blade 2, we went to Hemingway's chef Oliver Osborne. He's put in 20 years as a chef and says his knives are his most important tool.
I'm pretty close to sleeping with it.
Miracle Blade 2 claim number 1, the knife will cut through wood.
Even if you're a timberjack and you're cutting up lumber for a living.
I'm almost working like a saw. You can see it's starting to cut through it.
Claim number 2, the knife will cut through marble.
If it'll cut through this, it'll cut through anything. Everybody watch, you got to kind of scoot in real close so you can see this one. When I tell you that you can cut frozen food with this knife, I'm serious.
And still, the knife is supposed to slice a tomato.
Well, it's cutting through it, and it is cutting through it, and it's keeping it pretty thin.
Claim 3, the knife will cut through the metal part of a hammer.
Come on, you get in there. It's going into the hammer.
Is this extreme punishment?
This is extreme punishment. It does not feel any duller, and as you can see, it is still cutting very good.
So what do you think? Are you impressed?
Very impressed.
And as for the tomato tossed at the knife?
Yeah. There you go.
So the Miracle Blade gets a good rating. Now the infomercial also claimed the knives would cut right through chicken bones. We tried that, and the Miracle Blade passed that test too. Now the only drawback? The chef didn't like the flex in the knife. He'd prefer something a little bit heavier. But overall, when we asked him to grade the Miracle Blade, good, fair, poor, he called it excellent, a good knife. Our next test, DD7. DD7 claims to be no ordinary stain remover. The list of stains it's supposed to remove is incredible. Our testing expert, 40-year Service Master veteran Austin Rice, who told me he's skeptical about one cleaner that does it all. He put together carpet and fabric samples with the worst kinds of stains to test DD7. Barbecue sauce, shoe polish, dried nail polish, dried jam, and the granddaddy of stains, mustard.
This fabric here, let's put it this way, I'd give them about a 20% chance that it would remove.
But minutes later, we watched as the stains were disappearing from the fabric. Would you recommend this product?
Yes, I think it'd be very good for people to use.
Do you have some other kind of cleaner that would take mustard out?
Not any better than this.
So the DD7 also gets a good rating from our expert, but a couple of warnings about this product. On the box, it says DD7 is safe for all fabrics, using a picture of a tie. Well, we tried it on a tie, and some of the color came off. You need to test the color fastness of the fabric before using DD7. In our next report, target training workout tapes, instant hair, and the Flowbee. It sucks your hair as it cuts.
It's sucking my will to live!
Now, Therese tells us that the experts are not as thrilled with tomorrow night's tests as they were tonight, so be sure to join us tomorrow night.
Gizmos, gadgets, and shopping will certainly be on the minds of many Central Iowans tomorrow. Be sure to join us here on Newscenter 13 for an update on the busiest shopping day of the year. And if you're in the downtown area, about 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, you can be a part of Switching on the Holidays at Nolan Plaza. If you can't be there, be sure to tune in live at 5 as our own Ed Wilson switches on the holidays in downtown. He's been doing this now. It's an annual event, and it's really special.
He's got to feel like he has so much control. Tell him, switch it on, and it goes on. It's turned out to be a pretty nice Thanksgiving day.
Yeah, if you don't mind cold temperatures. Gary says they're going to stick around a while.
You bet they will. We've already established the coldest temperature so far this season, but how low will we go? I'll answer that question for you next.
I'm thankful for all of the family to be together as best as it can be now that everybody is spread all over the country.
Well, I'm thankful for be working, job, and family, good health.
Okay, what I'm thankful for is to be alive to see today, and really that everybody seems like today is the day that everybody kind of loves their neighbor.
Just thankful that our families are all well and we're all together.
And it's tough in this day and age to get families together.
It is.
As that first gentleman said, everybody's so spread out.
Right, and I tell you what, the slick highway is certainly not helping things, but I'm thankful for this big old mixed bag of weather. I got it all for Thanksgiving. I got drizzle, got some rain, got some snow, some sleet, some ice. You name it, we got it, but things are looking pretty good right now. This is Dallas, by the way. This is not a shot of Des Moines. If you were watching the football game earlier this afternoon, I know a lot of you folks were, well, this is what it looked like on the football field as well. There were some 160 accidents in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, mainly because of this big old sheet of ice that's all over the northeast part of Texas right now. Let's take a look at our own interstates back home, and, well, all of the interstates anyway are normal, but watch out for the secondary roads. There are still some slick spots, so if you happen to get off the interstates, do be extra careful later on tonight. And temperatures likewise. If you slide off into the ditch, it's no bargain there either, because temps are really starting to go down. Some of the lights that you saw earlier over there at the Des Moines Library, the public library, and they were about to go on. Let's look at some of those numbers as far as the temperatures go. What we've done, though, is we've slipped down just a few degrees. Yeah, just a few. There the lights go on, 13 degrees. We do have a partly cloudy sky up top. Dew point temperature, it's running at 8 degrees, meaning that we could go below 10. I think we'll hover somewhere around 11 for a wake-up, though. A westerly wind at 10, and there's your wind chill factor, 5 below 0. By the way, the actual temperature in Spencer right now is 1 below 0. It's a cold night all over the state. Let's take a look at the precipitation type if we see any in the Midwest. Most of Iowa looks to be dry, and it's what we call a dry slot, and it's pretty well covering most of the state. Could see kind of an icy mix in the eastern part of the state. You travel even further to the east, and it all turns into light rain. And some of the heaviest snows in the Midwest falling in parts of South Dakota, and they still have a chance for some of that to come down later on tonight and again tomorrow. That dry slot, though, it starts to drive a little deeper up to the north, and most of Minnesota around Minneapolis will start to see maybe even some sunshine mixed in with the cloud cover that they had earlier. Tonight, though, it's going to be chilly. 20s to the east, band to teens right here in the middle, and we drop it down into single digits off to the northwest part of the state. And actually, we need to take those negative single digits and move it a little bit because Spencer's already hit that. Tomorrow, though, for afternoon highs, we'll climb only into the lower 20s with temps hovering in the teens, mainly across the northwest. Let's take a peek at that forecast now, and it's going to be a chilly night tonight. If you do see any clouds, some of those could spit out a couple of snowflakes. Don't look for any accumulation, though. We drop the low down to about 11. Tomorrow, then, not much of a rebound. There it is, 24 degrees, maybe a hint of sunshine here and there, peeking around the clouds. But for Friday night, we send it down even colder. This time we go to 8. Westerly winds, and the next 3 days look about like this. The weekend, for the most part, for the travelers, thankfully looks to be fairly dry. Could see a couple of snowflakes on Sunday. Shouldn't be much of a problem. The next time I think we'll hit 30 will be Monday. We stay below 0 for a long time, and something was poking me in the pocket. I've got some leftovers. You want a bite?
Keep them to yourself.
Oh, more for me. You got it.
There's something in the air tonight, isn't there?
Oh,
I'm worried about Gary.
I'm worried about him, too.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, so maybe he's the only smart one. It doesn't only mean turkey and pumpkin pie.
No, it also means Gary's crazy, and it means Rick is coming up next with all the football highlights, including a big win by the Bears. Robin Williams shows once again there's nothing he can't do on the big screen. He turns into a woman in Mrs. Doubtfire. I'll have the real review in just a minute. Thanksgiving weekend is the perfect time for being with family, of course. And this week, Ed Wilson has a great movie for the whole family.
Robin Williams dresses up for the holiday in the new movie, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Robin Williams dresses in drag for his latest movie and shows off the comic genius he's famous for. In a dress, Williams reminds me of a young Milton Berle somehow. Robin's a man who's on the outs with his wife. They have not, after 17 years, been able to stay in love. They have instead channeled their love into their 3 children. When Williams and his wife, played by Sally Fields, decide to split, the custody award is awarded to the mom. Williams hasn't been away from his children even 1 day of their lives, and he won't stand to be kept away just because a judge told him to. With the help of some latex makeup, he transforms himself into the kids' new nanny, Mrs. Doubtfire.
All right, everyone, it's time to expand your minds. It's homework time, okay?
Yeah, but after Dick Van Dyke.
No. Now.
No. We always watch Dick Van Dyke.
Really? Well, not anymore.
This movie is not just a laugh until you cry Robin Williams talent fair. It has meaning for anyone who has gone through a divorce. Williams is given his typical long leash and free rein to do every impersonation and character in his repertoire. Chalk up another big hit for the Milton Berle of the 90s. I gave Mrs. Doubtfire 4 reels. If you're planning to stay inside this weekend and want to battle the crowds at the rental store, here are my favorite family movies out this week. Out of the top 10, number 1, Free Willy. Number 2, Dennis the Menace. Number 3, The Sandlot. And number 4, Cop and a Half. The number 5, why not? Get a little bit ahead on a jump on the Christmas spirit, The Muppet Christmas Carol. Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving. For the Real Review, I'm Ed Wilson.
He liked that one.
Yeah, been a while since we've gotten 4 reels.
Yeah, we haven't seen one for a long time. Rick, with sports.
Well, tonight's Texas A&M-Texas game affecting the Hawkeyes' bowl chances. We'll check out that. Plus a wild finish today between the Dolphins and Cowboys. All the highlights next.
Hawkeye fans on the edge of their seat, trying to find out if
That's
they're
right.
going or not.
This game could possibly mean a chance for Iowa to go to a bowl game. Well, the Hawkeyes paying close attention to tonight's game between Texas A&M and Texas. A victory by the Aggies would reportedly put Iowa in the Alamo Bowl. A&M a heavy favorite. They were struggling, though, down 6-0 before the kickoff goes to Leland McElroy. He just follows his blockers beautifully, then breaks to the outside and goes 103 yards for the score. This one was close. The Aggies have just kicked another field goal, however, and they lead Texas 18-9. It is late in the fourth quarter. Good news for the Hawkeyes. Well, this afternoon, a good old-fashioned brawl between Georgia and Georgia Tech. Late in the ball game, the bench is clear. It took the officials about 3 minutes to get things back in order. When it was over, the Bulldogs came away with a 43-10 win. Well, believe it or not, the Bears are back in the playoff picture after stuffing the Lions today in an NFC Central Division showdown. Only touchdown of the game came in the second quarter. Jim Harbaugh going deep to Terry Obie, who dives for the score. 42 yards, 10-3 Bears. Most important play, though, may have come in the third. The snap goes over punter Chris Gardaki's head into the end zone, but he saves at least a safety by getting that thing off and boots it all the way to the 39-yard line. What a play by Gardaki for the Bears. Well, the Bears defense came up big all day long. They shut down Barry Sanders, who gained only 65 yards, but more importantly, he injured his left knee. He is out 3 to 5 weeks, the NFL's leading rusher. The Bears win it 10-6. They pulled to within a game of Detroit and the NFC Central Division lead.
With Green Bay next week, you know, to move us on up the ladder. So right now we're heading in the right direction, but we still have a ways to go.
I think we're starting to see the fruits of our labor. We've worked very hard. Earlier in the year, we were close to being a great defense, but it was, you know, we were missing here, missing there a little bit, and I think now we're firing on all 8 cylinders.
We'll be all right. We're still in first place, tied. Now we're climbing that ladder again.
Well, meantime, the Cowboys have to be shaking their heads tonight after losing to the Dolphins in a bizarre finish. Snow on the field in Dallas, and how bad was it? Well, Miami kicker Pete Stoyanovich finds out the hard way. The weather didn't seem to bother Keith Byers, however. He busts through the Dallas line and then rumbles 77 yards for the score. He'll actually slide in the last couple of yards, and that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. The Cowboys do, however, come back to tie. Then rookie Kevin Williams fielding the punt in the snow and then burns Miami on a 64-yard return. 14-7, the Cowboys in the lead. But Miami had a chance to win it. Down 1 with 3 seconds left. Stoyanovich from 41 yards out. It is blocked. Looks like a Dallas win, right? But Leon Lett comes out of nowhere and touches the ball. The Dolphins recover. Stoyanovich gets another chance, and this time connects from 19 yards out. The Dolphins pull it out 16-14. Lett wasn't talking after the game, but the Dolphins certainly were.
The timing's just incredible. Thanksgiving Day, I had another opportunity and I'm fortunate to get another chance at the end. I'm just happy. I'm just happy we came out here with a win.
I've been around a lot of them, but I don't think I've ever seen one end like that.
Remember, Leon Lett was the same guy that fumbled in the Super Bowl, and he had a sure touchdown, and he made another big